This episode of The Riff with UCLA Shenanigans is brought to you by shredded cheese. I need to pick up some shredded cheese. And do the intro.
Welcome everybody to the Riff podcast hosted by me, Noah Stern.
And me, Rafe Burstein.
Today we're going to be talking to two wonderful stand-up comedians here in Shenanigans. This is the only podcast on UCLA radio hosted by us where we interview Shenanigans members, so you're in for a real treat today. We're joined in the booth by Jen Gittess.
What's up?
And Nasir Ahmed.
Howdy.
Howdy, guys. How have you guys been doing? It's been a crazy weather day in LA.
It has. It's been drizzling today. Crazy weather day.
Crazy.
My roommate walked outside. She was like, "Oh my god, it's raining so much. I can't go to the gym." I'm like, "It's drizzling."
in the 3 drops of water that were coming down.
Oh no, I'm kind of a proponent of that. Sometimes it's just too cold to exercise.
Like 60.
Well, I think at a certain point you're doing more harm than good.
Right, but like all of the gyms here are indoors. Well, can't answer that. I stumped the chump on that one.
We're off to a good start.
Yeah. So the reason I wanted to bring you guys in the booth today, Jen, this is your first time on a radio podcast?
It is. How exciting.
How very exciting. And Nasir, you were actually on a podcast with Furkan and I.
Yeah, I was with you.
Is that how you pronounce his name? Furkan?
Well,
Furkan. It was Furkan.
Every time I ask him how to pronounce his name, he's like, "Oh, well, if you want to say how my parents, it's Furkan Yudishin." And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to do that. So just Furkan is fine.
Yeah.
Or I mean, probably not Furkan. He doesn't like.
I mean, we're just like, which syllables are we putting that emphasis on here?
Right.
That's the main question.
Yeah,
I'll
exactly.
just call him Furry.
Yeah, Furry's fine. I'm sure he's totally okay with that. But yeah, we were on a podcast together like a year ago. It was his news show. We ended up talking all sorts of topics that we're not going to get into today because we are here today to talk about comedy. I'm very, very curious what got you guys into Shenanigans, especially because both of you really only do stand-up. Jen, you've done some writing and actually produced a great sketch that we did in last quarter's Laugh Den. So I want to start with you. What was the motivating force to get you in the doors of Shenanigans?
Wow. Okay. Well, I've always loved comedy, and I kind of just didn't really know that Shenanigans existed. I'm a senior now, which is kind of sad.
Right.
I wish I was in it all 4 years. But over the summer, I just started going to a lot of comedy shows, and I was like, I kind of want to try being on the other side and actually performing. So when I saw Shenanigans on Facebook, I kind of just DM'd the page, and I was like, is anyone behind here?
Right.
And I assume it was
Furkan
who, responded, and he was like, yeah. So I just went to a meeting and was so scared the first time that I was there.
What was your first meeting? Stand-up?
My first meeting was actually a sketch meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a sketch meeting, and I was so scared for both that and my first stand-up meeting, but everyone was so nice and supportive, so
that's great.
From there to now, I feel like I've made friends and gotten more comfortable, and it's been fun.
Yeah. Nasir, I have seen you around way more than Jen. I remember being at stand-up meetings in the past and seeing you there. So did you start, you're a fourth year here?
I'm a third year.
Third year. Wow.
Yeah.
Tall guy for the small fry. Okay.
Sure.
I don't know. I'm riffing here.
Yeah, no, I got you.
I thought we were the Rift.
The Rift. Oh, yeah, the Rift. Yeah. Because all we do is create divisions between everyone here.
Exactly.
Yeah, and talk shit about everyone. Nasir, so you started with stand-up?
I only do stand-up.
Only do stand-up.
Yeah, so yeah, I guess I did start with them, and I am ending with them.
Gotcha. And was this something you started when you were a freshman year, sophomore?
I started last January, so when I was a sophomore. But I've been keeping notes since I was in high school. I just never did anything with them.
Yeah, I was the same. I had a long list of bits that I never put on stage until like my sophomore year of college.
Yeah, and it was actually Felipe Bruce. I don't know if have you had Felipe on the pod?
Friend of the pod.
Yeah. All right. I don't know. Do you have to trademark that, friend of the pod?
Yeah, I think we owe some money to some loud Democrats now.
Yeah, probably. But Felipe, I met him at a party, and drunk as he was, he kind of bullied me into coming to a stand-up meeting.
I can totally see that interaction happening.
Yeah, no, it definitely. Yeah, and that's how I ended up there.
Very nice, very nice. So, was the idea always to get into stand-up, like in terms of like when you were younger, you were seeing comedians, when you saw comedic movies, it was never like, oh, I want to be Will Ferrell and Step Brothers. It was always like, I wanted to be Dave Chappelle on stage.
Definitely on stage. It's actually kind of funny. I've been thinking about this a lot more recently. So my dad is Arab and my mom is white. Okay. And when I was younger, they got divorced, and I think my mom was worried I would become a weirdo, which is fair enough, because nothing against my Arab brethren, but some of them are too sheltered, and it gets kind of weird.
I see. And your mom was like, divorce, he's gonna move to the Middle East now, and it's all over.
Not like that, but I mean, she tried to just pummel me and my brother with pop culture.
Really?
So, yeah, man, like we would watch all these movies, like Airplane, and I just like the Naked Gun and all these
Airplane on repeat.
Yeah, like all these super weird movies, and so we would always like watch stand up with her too, or she would always put something on for us to, I don't know, get some culture. And gotcha. I think, I mean, through that's where the seeds were planted.
I feel like watching stand up with your mom is like watching a sex scene in a movie with your mom. No. Like that just seems really uncomfortable.
Looking back, it was very weird.
Yeah, totally. Very like I can imagine like oh, like we're gonna see Jim Gaffigan and laugh about Hot Pockets. Exactly. That's one thing, but it's another thing if you're like, you know, again, like we're gonna watch Dave Chappelle talk about pussies and crack cocaine.
Well, no,
like, I think sit down, little Nasir.
We definitely started with Gaffigan, and Brian Regan.
Mm-hmm.
So, those were the guys.
Is Brian Regan's clean?
Brian Regan's totally clean.
I like it.
I thought you meant sexually.
Yeah, well, that too.
No, he's a deviant, actually. Yeah. It's well documented, his endeavors in the bedroom.
Yeah. By the way, we are watching chat. You can go to uclaradio.com. I mean, of course, if you're listening to this.
I know you're listening, Kylie.
Yeah, Kylie is our biggest fan, always listening. We are watching chat.
Kylie Jenner.
Kylie Jenner.
What's up, Kylie?
Yes, actually, just
send a free lip kit.
Yep, just like Nasir's mom had him watch stand-up, Stormy is watching us right now. Thank you, the Jenner family.
Thanks for the invite to the birthday party.
Yeah, we had to decline. Unfortunately, there was a brunch we had to go to, but I'm sure it looked very fun. Feel free to shout out people in chat. We're probably not going to read it, but hey, at least you're part of the experience, I guess.
That's so personal, Noah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll read the comments afterwards and then find you guys on social media, and I will write mean things about you back. So,
yeah. Nasir, where are you from? What's your upbringing? In California?
I'm from California, yeah. SoCal.
Temecula? Yeah, I knew that. As soon as you said SoCal.
That's super weird that you said it at the same time.
No, I just kind of could feel that you were about to say it, so I knew I had to say it too.
Really?
Yeah.
You were feeling that I was about to say Temecula, California. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, no, it just kind of rolls off the tongue. It's a very common word to say too, so I could have just said it by accident.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah. Jen, where are you from?
I'm from Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Really?
Really?
Huh. You know, kind of makes sense.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Should I be offended?
Definitely.
Yeah. I should be.
No. So, did you have any? I don't know. This is a weird question. Did you have any like West Coast experience? Why UCLA? Why coming out here? In general, you know.
Well, first of all, anything to get out of Florida was like my thing. Florida is a weird place if you've ever been there. It's just like, if you're not 80 or above, there's really nothing there for you.
That was my experience. I used to go to Boca Raton all the time, and it was just old Jews, which coincidentally, my kind of people, but
you seem like you'd fit in nicely there. However, I feel like Florida's already like hanging off by a thread of the U.S. It should just be like chopped off, and like the world would kind of be a better place. However, when I was applying to colleges, I just like kind of wanted to go far away, knew I wanted to do something in entertainment, and I got into UCLA, and I was like, well, I guess I can't turn that down.
Yeah, the stars kind of aligned. Yeah,
I didn't really have like a big dream school. Like I feel like when people talk about, you know, like I was dying to go to this place, I just kind of applied some places that I thought would be a good fit, and when I got in here, I visited, I was like, yeah, that seems cool.
Very nice, very nice. So, in regards to stand-up, did you guys have any influences like
just take a breath after you burp.
No, it's about talking through it, you know? I'm at a stage in my life where you just kind of got to just be like, yeah, so anyways, what are you talking about?
That's how rushed we are.
Yeah.
As a society, we have to
Yeah.
talk while we burp. You can't finish the burp and then
Oh,
and
yeah.
then talk.
Oh, yeah. I'm drinking a coffee and sending 6 emails while this podcast is going on. Did you guys have any comedic inspirations that you always think back to, like, wow? Like, for me, it was always Dave Chappelle's Killing 'Em Softly was and forever will be, like, one of my favorite comedy albums of all time. Was there anything for you, Jen or Nasir, that was like, holy shit, this is comedy? Wow. I got to aspire to be this.
All right. Well, because again, I said I was Arab, but I'm very obviously white. If anyone looks at me, I'm very white. So it's funny when I say this, but Chris Rock's "Kill the Messenger," where he does that whole bit about the difference between black people and N-words. I thought that was the funniest thing as a 7-year-old. I was sitting with my SpongeBob PJs
And your mom.
and my mom,
And
actually,
you're like, yeah, there
legitimately,
is a
my mom.
difference between... Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And I was...
It's like on child protector. It goes
Yeah.
off every 2 seconds.
Yeah. And yeah, dude, I just remember watching that too, because it was like I was watching and he was performing in front of arenas and stuff. And that whole special, it's actually a montage of him performing that set in different countries. So like part of it is in DC and then part of it's in South Africa and some other places. And so I was watching, just seeing like how huge that was.
Yeah.
And listening to him talk about when white people are allowed to say the N-word, which is like on Christmas Eve at 4 a.m. Like if someone, robs you.
So many of those bits are dated. Oh, man. I went back just like 2 weeks ago and I watched Eddie Murphy's Delirious. Have you seen this?
Oh, that's good.
No.
Oh, man. It is very homophobic for a lot of it.
Yeah.
And just couldn't do it today. But hey, for the time, it was hilarious, I guess. I wasn't born in 80 or whatever it was. Jen, what about you?
My interest in it kind of is a little different. I've always loved late night television, so I grew up watching SNL like every weekend, and like just late night TV shows. And on there, I would see stand-up comics going on, and I was like, oh, like that's funny, but not something that I'll ever do. And then I kind of realized they went hand in hand, and I started going to comedy shows. And I don't know. I mean, some of my favorite comedians are like Chris D'Elia. I saw him last night. So funny.
Wow. Oh, right. If you follow you on Instagram,
you would know.
Yeah,
I did that.
I feel like you're always at the Comedy Store.
I am always at the Comedy Store. Love the Comedy Store. I love Whitney Cummings. I think she's hilarious. I love Ali Wong. There's so many comedians that I love. I don't really have one that I watched that like
Shenanigans alum with Ali Wong. Yeah.
Oh, she was in Shenanigans?
Well, no, she performed like 2 years ago with us.
Okay.
Which basically means she was here at our
If anything,
fundraisers.
that's slander.
Yeah, if anything, I'm going to get a cease and desist from her lawyers. Ali has nothing to do with Shenanigans Comedy Club.
Also, I don't want to sound bitter here, but I told Jen that Chris D'Elia was my favorite comedian like a month ago.
He's like
And
the most
now,
basic
all of
comedian
a
ever. He
sudden,
can be
she's
anybody's
talking
favorite comedian.
Chris D'Elia
Wow.
all day.
I really copied you.
That's funny. I mean, comedy knows no boundaries. You know, you can like whoever you want if you laugh, except for Carlos Mencia. Fuck him.
Oh, yeah.
Don't like him.
I actually didn't learn about all that stuff until recently.
Yeah, I was a dirty joke thief.
Yeah.
Oh, also Sam Morril. He's really good too.
Oh, just not to be confused
He's
with
great.
people lumped in with Carlos Mencia.
He's great.
Great,
Just came to my mind.
great. So do you have anything for him, Rafe?
Question-wise?
Yeah.
I was gonna ask, when was the last time you laughed the hardest?
For real? That's something I want.
Yeah, that was the only thing that came to my head. But then I thought, no, we need to save that in case there's a lull in the conversation.
Such as now. When was
Let
the
me
last?
finish taking in my breath. I've been trying yoga lately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's that been working out?
I don't like it.
Fair enough.
The teachers are like, "Oh, it's just an hour," and I'm like, "It's fuck you."
Hot yoga or regular yoga?
It's always hot when he doesn't.
Exactly.
Oh.
Yeah. No, just regular yoga.
Yeah.
That sounds nice.
See, I want to try it, but I've never been able to touch my toes in my entire life.
Oh,
Really?
neither can
So
I.
I feel like it would just be painful.
I
for
feel like
me.
you could touch your.
How do you
toes
tie
right
your
now.
shoes?
Okay, I
then?
can touch my toes if I bend my knees.
You don't
but
have
that's
to
not-
touch your toes to tie your shoes.
Try wearing sandals. Doesn't make sense.
No, it does. I'm not gonna let that slide.
No, I'm gonna be roasted for that joke for the rest of my life.
I'm gonna name my child Try Sandals.
No, don't worry, Noah. You won't be roasted for it. No one is listening to this.
Yeah, right. Actually, short interstitial. We got to number 5 overall in UCLA radio 2 weeks ago.
Which
Thank
means
you
we
all of our
had how many
listeners.
listeners?
At least 6.
Okay.
To beat out the competition. Although last week we were 19, so sharp swings.
Wow.
But
Well,
it's
I
still
wonder
top 20. It's still top 20.
What was different last week? Which performers were here?
Oh, that's true. Rafe was not here last week.
You told the listeners I had a flu.
I panicked.
You also said I was from Houston, which I'm not.
You're
Where are
not
you
from
from?
Houston. Dallas?
Yes.
Oh.
In my defense, pretty same
I mean,
state.
it's all the East Coast to you.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, I full disclosure, when we were doing the countdown to like the start of the episode, I fully panicked because you weren't next to me. I was like, this is strange. Where's my co-host? And I fucked up that intro so hard.
Yeah, you really fucked it up.
You fucked it. Yeah, because I know you listened to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Loyal listener, Jen Gittess.
I was listening to it all the way at USC where we were doing our Sketchella practice.
Oh, yeah? Oh, were you listening live?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh.
Because
He was the one listener.
I was the one listener, exactly.
Yeah.
You're the one who got us from number
From
20 to number 19.
Yes.
That's funny. I don't know how many total shows there are. So when I say top 20, that could literally mean that's just
There could
who
only
they
be
are.
15 shows.
Yeah, right. We're actually giving back listeners.
They added some just to put you guys a little lower on the list.
Right. So back to the question at hand. When was the last time you guys laughed the hardest?
I mean, for me, it was actually last night.
Really?
Yeah, I was at the West Side Comedy Theater at an open mic, and I actually went there with Felipe Briss,
yeah.
Pippa Spindell, and Michael Pyle. I don't know if
Oh, yeah.
they're
All friends of the pod. Yeah.
fantastic. But we went there, and
Acquaintances.
and and Felipe ended up going almost dead last. So we were waiting there for a few hours. And
Just like for him to
for
get
him to
on
go
stage.
up.
Yeah.
And towards the end, I want to say this guy was at least in his 60s. He was a thin 60-year-old man, completely bald with glasses.
Mhm. Like
goes on stage.
almost penile shaped.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, like the top of his head is a preview of what his penis probably looks like.
Mhm.
But he walks on stage, and the first words out of his mouth are, "I used to be a teacher." And he does not look old enough to retire. So the entire time, I'm thinking, what happened that he's no longer a teacher?
Did he not address it in his material?
No, he did not address it. He went on to talk about Valentine's Day and how he would take girls out on his boat and that they shouldn't be afraid of him.
Oh, that's
So
why he
even
used to be a
further-
teacher.
Exactly.
That was a bit on Always Sunny.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, because of the implication.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a bit on Always Sunny.
Yeah. Well, just, you take girls out on your boat just because there's a lot of water
Clarify
around.
you're quoting this.
Yeah. To clarify, this is what our comedy writers have written for a TV show, not my personal beliefs. The idea is, you take girls out on your boat and then you wine and dine and then, things progress and, the implication.
Oh no, his
Are you
his
going to hurt
argument-
women?
No, dude. Just the implication of what? Rape.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You want me to leave that in?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm kind of upset I brought this up now.
No, it's fine. We were making fun of an elderly man who looks like a penis.
Yeah.
So you laughed the hardest at him?
Because I was thinking the whole time, like, what happened that he is no longer a teacher?
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure that out.
Nice. Jen, you were at the Comedy Store last night, so I would
Yeah.
think you laughed pretty hard there.
Yeah, I mean, I laugh at like stupid random things though too. So I feel like last night, as far as like real jokes, definitely Crystalia's set last night, hilarious. Okay,
we
Nasir,
go
I
again.
didn't steal it from you. Okay,
just
more
saying.
people than just you like Crystalia. He was.
I liked him before he was cool.
Cool. No one asked. He was just so funny. But the other last time that I probably laughed the hardest was a few days ago. I was in an Uber on the highway and there was so much traffic, and my Uber driver crashed into the car in front of us.
No.
Like, it was like a baby bump. It was like the type of thing where you're like, is the car in front of me like gonna get out of the car, or do we just like keep going? Like, both of us were kind of unsure. But I do this thing where I get in car accidents where like I just don't flinch. Like, I'm kind of nervous about my nervous system. Like, it doesn't react. So I was like, okay, like I'm not sure what they're gonna do from here. And my Uber driver looks at me and he just goes, oh, well. I'm like, what? He's like, do you want to get out of the car?
Yeah.
We're on the highway. He's not pulling over. He's like, you can get out if you want. He's asking me if I want to get out of the car on the highway. And I just started laughing so hard. And he was so serious. He didn't know what was going on. So I was just alone. And that was like probably the hardest I've laughed in a while. He's like genuinely wondering if I want to get out of the car because I'd be safer standing on the highway.
Yeah, on a busy highway in
than
LA.
in his car. So,
wow.
Yeah, that was fun.
I mean, he doesn't seem like a good driver. I think you should hedge your bets there. And just
Honestly,
step
I've gotten
out.
in some accidents, and I think I'm a great driver, so not judging him.
Fair enough.
Isn't it? Everybody thinks they're a great driver. Like, if you
I
ask
know.
anyone, no one will say they're a bad driver.
They're like, oh, I'm like average or good, but then who's like below average?
Yeah.
Like there has to be.
no one's out there like, I'm a train wreck. like,
I kind of am. I literally drive like I'm in some sort of video game, and then like when I get in an accident or something goes wrong, I'm like, why the hell did they do that? Like, they're such a bad driver, but it's always me.
It's always you. How many accidents have you been in?
Well, the two sides of my car right now are completely like ripped off, and then
you only need the middle part. That's
then-
the important.
it still works. And then I got in like I've been in like
God.
2 accidents since I've been here. I've really conformed to LA stereotype. It was while it was raining both times, and I'm like, I'm from Florida, I can handle anything. Like hurricanes there, and I'm going 80 on the highway. Here I was going like 30 miles an hour, making a left bump. I'm like, all right, well,
Wow. So you're just a bad driver.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like accident once, shame on I don't know the universe. Accident twice, shame on you definitely. But
Yeah.
3, 4 accidents.
No, just like a
5,
just like a soft
6.
3, because the third one was like a
soft
baby
3?
bump.
Not-
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I don't know what to say to that. I mean, I'm not gonna be driving with you anytime soon.
You say that, and then
As if it was a
smash cut
possibility.
to
Yes, smash cut.
she's driving you to the hospital.
Because of the accident we got in. Or-
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love when I see cop cars or ambulances driving to the hospital because everyone clears the way, and I just use that as my opening to zoom right behind
so
them, and I
you
think it's like an escort.
So you love when people are in emergencies and need medical attention.
Yes, and I use it to my advantage.
She follows around funeral trains of cars.
Yes.
Fair enough. Wow. So what's the end game for you guys? You're both been doing stand up.
What is the Avengers Endgame for you?
Did you guys like Avengers Endgame?
I have tons of thoughts on the Avengers, but we won't get into that.
Oh man, Nasir, I learned, is a fiend for the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Oh,
no.
let's talk about that
Oh,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
let's
instead of
not.
an interview.
Yeah, instead of getting to know you, someone literally Venmoed you 50 cents to.
No, they gave me $1. Actually, I got $2.
You got $2 to talk about the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I started talking about it, and they thought it was humorous. I was also a little bit tipsy, so it wasn't all very clear. But they stopped me once I got to Thor 1, and they were like, "That's enough."
That's only 4 movies in.
Exactly. So clearly,
Yeah,
and that was
clearly
like
they're
20
not
minutes into
enthusiastic.
me talking. So they had clearly had enough.
Fair enough.
But why'd they Venmo you money?
Because of the fundraiser we had.
Oh,
Yeah, that was one of the
Yeah,
services I
Rafe,
was
you were
offering.
there.
sure.
I'm just to keep up appearances, I'll say you were there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can put it on my resume.
Yeah, was
was
at a
offering-
fundraiser.
Other services too, but nobody wanted those.
Yeah, that was wild. That was the first fundraiser where you could Venmo people in the club to do tasks. It was a wild night. It was a
I
wild
should have
night.
made one for someone to fix my car.
That would they Venmo you and
and then they
fix
get to
your
fix
car.
That sounds like an amazing deal. I don't know why you guys are so surprised. I would be into that.
Oh man. Wow. Fun fundraiser. Club made money, so we're good on that. We don't have to talk about the whole insider
No,
edition
let's
here.
get into the finances of it.
Maybe we could finally purchase a working microphone.
Yeah, we would hope so.
I know.
Yeah, if the audio this week sounds a little different, guys, there was a power outage in the studio last week, and apparently expensive microphone equipment can't handle little shut off. So we're crowding around 2 mics like it's a campfire. Crackle,
and,
crackle, crackle.
and it's getting warm.
And it's getting real. Oh yeah,
Getting heated in here for sure.
These booths have no ventilation.
Yes. We're suffering. If you know where we are, come find us. Bring us fans.
We're above a Panda Express and very sweaty.
This is where they vent all their fumes.
Yeah. Can you imagine if there was just like
starting to
orange
smell
chicken
like
fumes coming up through here?
Just the corpse of a
I could go
panda
for
drops in.
Vegetable oil fumes.
God.
What were we talking about
You're talking
before
about
I derailed
Endgame.
it? Oh,
What were we
Endgame
were we?
By
Oh,
Taylor
yeah.
Swift.
And we were talking about the Fundraiser.
Oh, right. What is your end game for comedy at UCLA? Jen, you're graduating. Nasir, you've got a few more years here. Or one more.
One
That's-
more.
One
If
more
it's
is
a few more, I'll kill myself. If I'm here for more than a year and 4 months, I'm gonna just end it there.
Oh, he's giving
I
himself
feel
4
that.
months leeway. He's like, a year
Yeah,
and 4.
a
Yeah.
year.
By
You know.
June.
Because
I
he
don't
doesn't
wanna
want to
kill
be here
myself
for
after a year.
for
but-
3 months and 29 days,
I mean,
and then
maybe
be
I'll
like, well, now I have to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, 30th day, we're done.
Do you guys want to pursue comedy outside of Shenanigans?
Well, I definitely have loved doing it while I've been in Shenanigans, and if I can keep doing it, then I definitely will. And no matter what I'm doing next year, I'll definitely do it, like, on the side, like, maybe at open mics at night or whatever.
You would willingly do open mics just to be like,
Yeah,
I enjoy
No,
this
'cause-
crushing sense of rejection and weirdos that come to open mics.
No, yeah, because I think it's important, like, no matter what. I mean, I hope to be doing something in maybe comedy writing, or that's, like, kind of a far goal, but in the nearer future, if I'm doing something that's not, like, you know, instantly fulfilling, I'll definitely keep doing that at night or, you know, whatever. Because I feel like it's important when you're doing something that if you don't love immediately to, like, keep that going, to keep yourself going.
Huh. That's interesting. So, like, okay.
Yeah.
What? Wait, so if you don't
Because
love
I'll probably
something...
be like an assistant or like something that's not exactly what I want to be at first. You can't just like graduate college and be where you want to be. You got to put work into it.
I see what you're saying. I was under the impression you were like, if you don't love what you're doing, fine. Just keep doing it until you love it.
No, I'm just saying because, you know, my end goals are definitely like too big to do right away, and I don't know if they'll ever happen. So as long as you're, you know, doing things that you love in the moment, I think that's what's important, and maybe you'll get there eventually. That's what I think.
That's mature. That's very wise and not advice I'm going to heed.
I'm glad you've given it your stamp of approval.
Yeah, yes. Everything that comes out of these microphones has to be personally approved by me.
The Stern stamp of approval.
There you go.
This message was approved by Noah Stern.
Thank you.
You should get a stamp sound effect that's just like, yeah.
I don't know what sound is. Is that a stamp?
Yeah, I don't know. I just hit the table. I don't even know if anybody heard that.
Yeah, I think so. We have these mics turned up so fucking high. I think all this can
these
come
mics
through.
these mics are high as shit, huh?
Oh yeah, woo! That's a wee joke, everybody. So Nasir, you said you do comedy?
Yes, Noah. I dabble here and there. My end game is, well, I'm gonna have.
Is nobody else singing Taylor Swift Endgame in their head right now?
Well, since you said it the first time,
This is a room full of guys who I don't think are into Taylor Swift.
All right.
I could be wrong.
All right,
Actually,
men.
legit-
I'm not into it either, but
playing
it
the
just
Avengers
comes
trailer
to
in
the
my
head.
head.
Okay.
Like, it's funny, but I'm also being serious that I am into Taylor Swift.
Okay.
Can you sing all of Bad Blood right now?
Well, I'm more of let's
So that's
see.
a no.
I'm
So
more
it sounds like
country-
you're not a Taylor
I'm
Swift
more
fan.
country T Swift.
You were
fan,
trying to
but I
get up on her
respect
fandom.
reputation.
I see.
think it was a good response, and she needed to come out with some fire because she was really getting hit bad. But
I had to
Endgame,
interrupt with that. Sorry.
How do we know you're not doing a reverse Chris D'Elia and you're just saying you like it because she said she likes Taylor Swift?
Yeah. Is this a whole con? Are we conning each other right now? The long con? Are you a convict? That's what I'm trying to get at.
What's the opposite of Congress?
Is it convict?
I
Senate?
I think it is now.
I don't think
The answer is
I don't believe that's how it works.
the answer is progress. I didn't come up with it.
I
You've just
see.
joined libertarian.
Yeah.
Libertarian broadcasting.
Yeah, so
You're locked
speaking of
in now.
political alliances, I get a lot of Facebook invite requests from Nasir about young
I
Democrats.
stopped doing that. I don't know if you noticed.
I have.
Okay.
Thank you.
He's now a Republican.
Yes, no, I decided to just screw it and go hard right.
He had a midlife crisis.
You know, it's kind of fun playing, you know, like in high school when you used to have to do fake debates and play the side you don't want to be on.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of fun to do that sometimes.
Yeah. So you do want to be in Congress and not pursue comedy outside of UCLA? Is that what I'm hearing?
You know, I legitimately, up until probably junior year of high school, thought I was going to be president of the United States.
Okay.
And then I realized
How easy it is.
yeah, how easy it is. And I just don't want to do something that's that easy. Like, if anybody can do it, then it's not really worth it.
Right. So like 300 million Americans for one job.
Right.
And you're just like, too easy.
Yeah, too
Okay.
straightforward.
Fair enough.
But comedy-wise, I, like, it's no knock. And I love everybody that's doing stand-up comedy. I don't think I've met a single person that I don't like who's doing stand-up.
Have you never been to an open mic?
Oh, no, I've been there, and I've met people that I have not liked their performance.
I see. But them.
But afterwards, I'll say hi to them, and they seem like cool people.
Mhm.
But I will say,
You're the exception.
no. When I started, I thought everybody who was doing it was really good, and that they knew something that I didn't. And then when I started doing it, I realized that all of us are idiots, and
Right.
I like that idea of hanging out with fun idiots. So for me, I'm going to keep doing this at night. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to have a job. But
Good. That's generally good.
Just
but
gonna pursue this.
But the moment I get an inkling that I'm getting better or there's a shot that I can move forward with it, I'm going to drop everything and try it out.
Yeah, like if you got a paid gig, some sort of like feature spot
Exactly.
regularly.
Totally.
Yeah, if someone gives me $15 to do a birthday party, I'm quitting my job.
I was gonna say, so like $5 to
Yeah.
perform while you fix my car.
Yeah, exactly.
You're done.
Just always trying to get in that
You're
fix your car
done.
plug.
I just really need it fixed.
Stop getting in accidents.
You're
I
is
can't
one
do
way.
That. I can't do that.
She's not God.
That's
She
too
can't
bad.
just not get in
Stop
accidents.
it.
But
She's
also-
so quirky.
I
Her
think
quirk
you
is
should-
getting into lethal accidents.
I'm
You
Her
were
surprised.
quirk
that-
is vehicular
I'm surprised you're
manslaughter.
not walking around with a giant neck brace all the time.
Honestly, yeah, no, I should be. I feel like you should go for the president and the comedian. Like that would be the best
I think that would be a
LinkedIn, the best
trifecta.
LinkedIn title ever. Comedian
President.
/ president. You could perform. at
President
the
of
president's
Shenanigans.
dinner.
I've had dreams
Yeah.
about this where I'm like at a campaign rally and I just start doing and it's my campaign rally and I'm just doing my set out there because
You're like,
people
"Ah,
want
what's the
someone
deal?"
How about
real.
them Republicans?
Yeah,
though?
you know what's the opposite of Congress, everybody. Yeah. Oh
And
my
then they
God.
go, what?
What? Progress? Oh, this guy's a hack. I'm gonna vote for him.
I used to open up my sets when I would do open mics saying, I hope no one's recording this because I plan on running for president one day. Like that, I would open with that line because I thought it was funny, but also I thought it was truthful. And could you imagine if I did run for president and
Right.
then that clip surfaced online and they're like, even back then, he knew.
He knew. And even when he was on this podcast that is being recorded,
Exactly.
he knew.
I mean, our current president has a grab him by the pussy clip and he made it, so I don't think your little,
Yeah.
stand-up thing is going to hold you back. I think you still got it.
Are you saying I should do more raunchy material?
No, I'm saying I don't think it's going to hold you back, saying that you think you want to be president.
If
Yeah,
anything,
of
you're
all
too
the
tame.
things.
Of all
Yeah.
of the things that you could say, I think it's chill. I think that'll pass the...
Yeah. You need to be a lot more offensive
The
to a lot
filter.
more minority groups.
Yeah.
And then you can be president.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if I'm offensive to every group, then is that just equal at that point?
Yeah, I think that's how race relations work.
That's basically cowardice, though.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay, so you're either going to be a president, an open micer for the rest of your life, or an established comedian. And honestly, I support that career path. Whichever one you choose, there's honor in all of it, except president. No one wants to be president.
My parents still think I'm going to be a lawyer. Sorry, Mom, if you're listening.
Still think
Yeah, they still think.
What are you going to leave school having accomplished?
this podcast.
Ooh.
Something that matters.
Wow.
Wow, we have stumped Jen
I mean,
Gittess.
there's
When is
there's
the
a lot
last
of
time
things.
you've
Other
laughed
than
the hardest?
like a piece of paper that says I was
Leaving.
here.
No, yeah. I feel like accomplishing. I don't know. Joining this comedy group was a big thing for me. I like really always wanted to do something and didn't know it existed, and now I'm glad that I'm doing it. I'm accomplishing. I started eating vegetables this year.
Wow, I have never seen a bar so low for someone's aspiration.
I do remember Emma bragging about eating whole carrots,
I'm just,
though.
I'm just trying to make Nasir's answer that much easier.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, yeah, I started eating fruits. They are the more sugary vegetable, if you will.
That's the only reason you eat fruits is they have a higher sugar intake than other greens. Ugh.
What are you, the Burger King Kids Club kid?
Yeah.
Accomplished specifically at UCLA? This
A
podcast.
degree. Yeah, this
A
podcast.
degree.
Academically.
This podcast.
What's your degree in?
I'm not really into academics. I'm communications and film.
Okay, so truly nothing important.
Truly nothing important. Like I hope that UCLA isn't listening right now. This the communications major, it's like everyone wants to get into it, and then once you get into it, you realize you're taking the same classes over and over and over again. Like I've learned the transformation from the newspaper to the internet in 8 different classes, and then it ends. I took a presidential communication class, and it ended in the year like 2015. I'm like, I think
Presidential, like how presidents
communicate, and we ended up talking about the internet. I'm like, what about like Twitter? You know,
Yeah.
It's like the classes are just really not up to date. So I don't feel like I'm leaving with a great education.
Right.
Have you had to do that? Have you filled out that like senior survey that you have to fill out before
No,
you
I
graduate?
gotta
whenever
do
they
that
send
too.
me those things, I'm just like, I don't want to give you any more of my
Of your data.
Yeah, exactly.
information.
I
Like
filled
you've
out.
taken so much from UCLA,
Right.
like my money, my time, and all you've given me is my college degree, friends, life, this podcast. You know, so much. So
I filled out mine last night, and they're like, "Would you say you were coming away from all this with something you consider valuable?" And I was like, "No."
No.
no, but I think the lessons that you learn in college, not necessarily the classes, are what is valuable. Like going
Nothing
to
is
college.
forever.
You know,
Exactly.
I'm not bitter about anything behind the scenes.
a friend of mine actually sat down and did the math to see how much money each lecture and each discussion section at this school cost him.
Oh, it's absurd.
He sounds like he's a really
Yeah, sounds like
happy guy.
fun at parties.
Fun. Wow, I want to hang out with this
He
guy.
sounds like a fun guy. But
This guy's raw
basically-
animal magnetism.
basically the number he
What did
came-
you guys do the next night? Like count the amount of French fries In-N-Out makes every week? Like who are you hanging out with? Okay, sorry, go.
We took the square root of every odd number we could think of. No, but the number he came out with was $400 for each discussion section and about $200 for each lecture.
Damn. So
And
if I
so-
skipped them all, can I ask for my money back?
Now I'm thinking every time I'm sitting in a class, I'm like, I paid $400 to tell my major a fun fact about myself and just do that same icebreaker every single time.
I think in high school, somebody in my class calculated that, and they're like, it's a half penny per minute or per second.
Wow. They went down to the second.
Yes.
Wow. I mean, I've definitely like made the calculation when I'm at work. Like, okay, if I go to the bathroom for 8 minutes, how much am I getting paid to be on the toilet? And then I always realize this is an unpaid internship and I'm just wasting my own time. So there's that.
You know, nothing feels nicer than pooping at work. I'll be honest.
It's great. It's like I don't have to respond to
Guys,
this
no,
fucking email.
I'm full of shit at work. Because, like, I can't poop at work.
Really?
Are you a nervous pooper?
Are you a nervous pooper?
No, guys. Okay, if everyone wants to know,
We're dying to know.
I can't poop at work because the bathroom at work, I work at a house, and the bathroom is right next to my boss's desk.
Oh,
My male boss's desk, like right next to it, and it's not like one of those soundproof doors. It's just
I
like
see.
you can literally hear him if he's peeing, if he does like a slight. So if I just can't, so I have to hold it the entire day.
You can't sandblast the porcelain, so to
it's
speak.
It's not fun. Thanks for asking.
You know what you should do is get a white noise app on your phone and just blast it.
Yeah, or just like
What if
play
I blast, like,
Metallica or
heavy
something.
metal?
Yeah.
Like your boss is just concentrating, then suddenly you hear the sounds of the Amazon rainforest.
Yeah.
And just a couple of plops in between.
Someone being like, I hate this.
It's a frog falling off a tree.
It's jumping from the lily pad.
I have a friend who might be listening, who told me that Well, first, we grew up together, and one day in middle school, I was just like in the bathroom, and I happened to walk past a stall and kind of see inside, and I realized he was pooping completely naked, and I was like,
He was looking on purpose.
Yeah, totally, because I always try to see when my friends are pooping. I was like, Eli, that's not his real name.
This was a friend, was it?
Yeah, this is a story about me. Let's just call him Eli because that's his real name. I was like, Eli, why are you pooping naked? And he's like, oh, everyone does this. And I was like, no, you. And he was like, what? No, I'm pretty sure. And then, he then found out he was the weirdo. Yeah.
But I also feel like I miss working in a real office because you could just go to the bathroom whenever you want. And also, if I was an intern and there were other executives who I could never talk to or even look at in the office. I would see them and look away. And the next thing you know, we're pooping next to each other. I'm like, I could literally grab your ankle next to you if I wanted. All barriers are broken in the bathroom.
I'm sorry. Has that ever happened where
no,
you
but
grab someone?
I would never do that, but I could. I'm saying the barrier is down.
And I could punch through this glass and strangle myself.
I just feel like I got excited when I was able to go to the bathroom next to somebody who was so much higher up than me. I was like, wow.
I get it. You had a moment where even the CEO poops.
Yeah, exactly.
George Clooney, you poop too.
Have you ever driven home, then noticed maybe your boss is also driving home at the same time, and you're like, I could just plow my car right into this person?
Funny story.
I've walked home next to my boss, and it was at least 15 minutes that we were walking next to each other.
And just neither saying anything?
Well, just that tree looks nice.
I see.
The dreads of conversation.
Yeah.
I cut someone off the other day and then honked and I flicked them off and then I looked up and it was my boss.
Wow. You're just bad card luck.
I literally turned the corner. My heart, when your heart starts racing, drops to your stomach, that feeling of I'm gonna die. I actually felt in that moment I wanted another car to just hit my car and kill me. I was mortified. And then I just waited another 15 minutes. I was late to work, so I was like, I hope she just didn't see me and she just doesn't think it was me.
Did she say anything?
No, she didn't say anything, but I don't think she would. What would she be like, hey, did you flip me off 20 minutes ago?
My mom used to always tell me a story about on the first day of kindergarten, she got into this just fucking road rage accident. I mean, not they didn't hit each other, but cutting off, yelling, you fucking bitch, fuck you, you're a fucking cunt, you don't know shit. And then they both pulled into the same kindergarten, and it was someone I ended up going to school with for 8 years.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Wow. So, I mean, shit like that happens. That's why I always try to be very nice to people, because you never know when you're going to need to ask them for money.
You never know.
You never know.
I should start being nicer to people then.
Yeah, and maybe stop getting into car accidents.
Yeah,
maybe.
I don't. It's not really that's not something that I try to do. It's just other people, it happens.
No.
Just accept their money to fix your car.
Yeah, I feel again, this is the, accident once, shame on me. Accident multiple times, shame on me. Yeah.
Shame on
Even when I hit someone, I'm like, they probably did something bad recently. They deserved it.
If they weren't looking, if they were really paying attention, they would have seen I ran that red light.
Exactly. They would have seen that I was coming up too close behind them and switched lanes.
I would love to know if you've ever taken a class in morality or philosophy.
Or just a driving class.
Yeah.
I actually did. My mom made me take driving classes over and over and over
as
again.
you need to get a license.
And my driving teacher would always be like, slow down, slow down.
That's what those classes are for.
And I'd be like, no, I know how to do this. I've been watching my parents do it since I was 3 years old. I don't need to do this.
Yeah, everyone.
I've played The Simpsons Hit and Run.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Oh my god.
She was like, it'll lower our insurance if you take driving lessons. I was like, I can't do this.
My driving ed teacher was fucking crazy. And I feel like it's a common thread that driver's ed, if you're someone who's my career is letting teenagers in my car driving my car for me.
Kinda
you're
creepy.
A little kind of creepy, kind of crazy. He called himself Mr. Stop because he was like,
Ew.
I'll always tell you to stop at every light and stop at every stop sign and
even when it's green.
Yeah,
at every light.
Yeah, he was like, Mr. Stop, that's me. And
what if the stop sign says go?
What if the light is green?
He gave me homework, which was this is not a bit. It was to research Nietzsche and
Wow.
like very nihilist philosophers, and he was like, trust me, when you're on the road, you're gonna want to know their philosophy. And
I don't know if I want to drive with a nihilist.
right?
Just someone who's like, what does it matter? It matters a lot to me, man.
This is how I get my thrills. I let teenagers drive my car. Yeah, dude. I did you guys have any crazy driver ed teachers? Oh no, were they just like, yeah?
Mine were I had to switch. I think mine got scared of me because he'd always be like, "Oh no," and like scream. And then I got a new one, and I wondered why, because like you were supposed to have the same one the whole time. And
Yes.
I think the other one, he was like quiet, and I think he was always just like gripping for dear life.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I like to sing while I drive. And it's kind of like, you know how like you like to sing in the shower, everyone does it, and sometimes you start singing and then forget that your roommates are home, and you're like, oh, I guess like it's fine, whatever. I did that while I was driving with an instructor. Like I would start singing in the car as I do when I'm alone, and then be like, oh, like this instructor's here. So yeah, they didn't really like me that much.
Yeah, please. Every time you talk about your driving, I never want to get in a car with
you're
you.
not making yourself sound any better.
This is terrifying. It's like
That's why
terrifying.
Ali Wong won't come back.
You
Yeah.
guys are just sexist, okay?
Nah, I mean, yes, but this is beside the fact. Man or woman, you're a shitty driver.
Yeah.
My driver's ed teacher actually took a call while I was driving, and it was like an argument about custody of her son.
Oh, that's always fun to be a fly on the wall.
It was, yeah. No, like her son was at home, and then his father had come to pick him up, but he wasn't supposed to pick him up that day. And so there was like a mini argument in the passenger seat next to me while I was driving on the freeway. I was just like, oh.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Well, that's fun.
Damn.
Rafe, did you learn to drive in Dallas?
Oh, you almost said
guess-
They do that there? Do they do that? What's that? Do they drive there?
I mean, if you've been here
No,
since
we
you
just
were-
have horses on top of horses.
Is that where you got your license?
You mean Houston?
Yes. The second time I took my driver's test, first thing you have to do is like pull out and then do a nice little parallel park. Then you go around the neighborhood. So I did the parallel park, and the driving teacher was like, all right, pull right into this parking space here. And I was like, cool, we're already done. She was like, so you failed the parallel parking, so I will see you here again.
Wow, really?
Oh, and I'm the bad driver. I passed on the first time by 1 point.
Nice. I took my driver's ed test 3 towns over, specifically so I wouldn't have to parallel park. Like, literally, I went far into the burbs just because that wasn't part of the driving test. If I had to take it in San Francisco where I grew up, hell no.
Oh, wow.
Hell no.
Yeah, that's not even fair.
Do they
No.
make you go down that, like, what is that
Lombard?
street?
Yeah. They make you wait in a 40-minute line of tourists. And it's like, all right, you're going to need to go down windy streets like this all the time.
I like that street, but I do not know why it is an attraction.
It's bullshit. Actually, I went down it for the first time like about a month ago. And I was like, okay, it's a fucking street. I've lived in San Francisco all my life. Waited till I was 21 to do this. Don't need to do it. It's bullshit.
It was in Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Was it? Was that the
Yeah,
sentence?
it was.
They did a car chase scene, and then they got to Lombard Street.
You know, I'm glad you brought it back to the
Even
Marvel
less
Cinematic
reason to go.
Universe.
Even less of a reason
It's what I've
to
been
go.
waiting for this entire
I would like to
time.
be
See it in the
Venmo'd to
movies.
talk about things.
Yeah.
As it is, no one pays me for this, and certain people keep trying to take it away from me.
Yeah, right? We got to fight tooth and nail for this free entertainment we give out.
Oh my.
Oh, my. Oh.
Maybe next someone can charge me dues
Yeah, well.
for something that I started.
Stay tuned. Yeah, hoof. Yeah. Oh, if the listeners are curious, the wonderful Carl the intern was with us for 2. Come on, I'm trying to gussy him up. Come on.
Carl Snatch.
Carl Hatch was
Carl
here for
intern
two episodes. We loved him. He did such a great job. He has moved to a different radio show, where he's being a great intern there.
That's
Wow,
cool.
this sounds
Presumably.
like political. I'm not going to ask any further questions.
No, it was literally just like, okay, if you want to know the deets, we just like having 2 guests on, and having an intern would mean having only 1 guest on.
No, it's literally fine. It's just that, like, the way that our stuff works, he just didn't fit in. But
Yeah, he just didn't really vibe with our company culture
Yeah.
here at the Riff.
Creative
but,
differences.
Like, we love him.
We wish him
it
the
just
best.
wasn't right for me at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a good guy, but he's also a son of a bitch. So
Oh, yeah. I mean, he does a stand-up. You guys probably know him pretty well.
Yeah. He was
Yeah.
actually, like, the first person I met in stand-up.
Really? The first?
He was so nice, yeah.
That's great.
I was so scared, and he was like, "Hey, are you new?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then I joined stand-up.
That's a pretty good impression. That's pretty impression.
The first meeting I went to was also his first meeting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so...
Then they fell in love.
Yeah, we did. Honestly, he's the cutest little button I've ever met. I don't know if people
I
can
would
visualize.
not say that,
I would
People
but...
that are listening to this, I don't know if
Top
you can
20.
visualize...
Yeah, he's a top
Carl
20
Snatch.
Q button.
But Carl Snatch...
Carl Snatch.
is like if you put a shy bunny rabbit
into a hat and pulled it out, and it was
shook
a
up the
half
hat.
white, half Filipino stand-up comedian. It would be Carl Hatch.
Exactly.
Fair
And then
enough.
added a
Your
lot
voice
more
changed
layers.
quite a bit at the end, Nasir.
I was because he just makes me feel different.
That's nice. That's so sweet.
I don't know why I'm getting so weird about this.
That's so sweet.
Yeah. You
Okay.
You okay?
Speaking of feeling different, we have a Laugh Den comedy show coming up at Shenanigans. There's going to be stand-up. You guys are going to be there. I don't know if you're performing yet, but I'll just say this now and hope you are. Sketch is going to be there. I know usually in sketch, myself, Rafe are involved. Are you planning on writing anything or acting in any of the sketches this year?
I was just writing with someone today. I submitted like 4 things.
That's
I know
wonderful.
Hannah said just submit whatever you want performed, but I thought she would want me to submit more than that.
She asked for one thing, but she wants more from me.
That's great.
I mean, who has sketches?
That's
that
not
they
a
don't want
consent
to be
joke.
performed?
I have not written anything this quarter, and I feel bad about it, so I'm just hoping to act in a bunch of things.
I haven't written anything in the last 2 quarters, but I just have such a backlog of stuff.
Noah's basically asking us to cast him right now.
Yeah, please, Hannah, if you're listening, I'm itching for a performance.
Hannah doesn't do the casting.
Yeah. I'm pretty certain at a certain point, like pretty much about every Wednesday at 10 a.m., someone downstairs smokes a fat joint because I don't know if it smells like weed in your booth because I'm smelling something in here.
Well, Nasir's just been smoking up the storm.
Oh, yeah, you guys
Oh my god, I can hardly see into your booth. Oh my
Wait,
god,
was
it's
I
so
not-
foggy.
I don't
Was I
know
not
if it's
supposed to
the
bring my
Panda
pen?
Express fog or the blunt that he's been smoking. But it's foggy.
Yeah. I don't know. Was I supposed to share?
Or just our fire conversation.
Yeah. Laugh Den's gonna be great. It's week 9.
Yeah.
Friday of week 9. We'll have more information about that as we approach it.
There's also the Bruin Fest show next week.
Oh yeah.
Stand-up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Stand-up show next week.
Don't know about a headliner yet, but we're
Yeah.
supposed to have one of those.
Oh
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Someone Salma got on.
Who knows?
I don't want to talk shit about Salma, but I do want to bring this up.
Oh boy.
No, it's not about her. It's just about her actions.
Oh, boy.
And her personality.
I added her on LinkedIn. Okay.
I got an
And
invitation from you on LinkedIn today.
I sure did. I was bored.
Shenanigans people
Yeah.
love LinkedIn.
Love
Carl Hatch,
LinkedIn.
stop viewing my profile on fucking LinkedIn.
What
And
What a
Clark.
feat.
Clark, stop looking at my LinkedIn profile.
I love how like the one professional club on campus that like really doesn't need LinkedIn is
It's
huge on
It's
LinkedIn.
huge. You guys are huge on LinkedIn.
Huge
Okay,
on LinkedIn.
sorry.
Anyways, Salma, I'm calling her out because she put vice president of Shenanigans on it, which I thought curious because I also put vice president of Shenanigans. But what the really important thing is, there is no vice president of Shenanigans, so I can't even call her out because we're both lying about it.
Oh, wow, that's fine.
It doesn't really sound like you're talking shit about Salma. It sounds like you have a problem with your own actions and you're getting some guilt off your chest.
No, because
Mhm.
she has been actively doing lesson Shenanigans, as she should as a graduating senior. So I don't have any problem with that. It's just, say you're not vice president anymore. Let me lie about that on my resume.
Oh, okay. You feel a
Let me
passive
take my
aggression.
title head is head of podcasts, even though that's not in the Constitution.
No, you can definitely do it. I will endorse you as head of podcast on
Thank
LinkedIn.
you. Maybe I could have a say in anything.
I would totally endorse you.
Hey, I think I'm kind of on Salma's side on this because when I was doing my college apps, I made up a club
Oh, really?
and made
Was it
myself
Chair
president
Club?
of it. No, actually, it was the Argument Club.
And you just had that like on your resumes and shit?
What did it say? Like I argue?
No, the description of the argument club
My mom is the reference for this?
No, it's literally less formal debate club. And the idea is people would come together, there would be a topic, people would pick a side, and they would argue about it without any formalities or any structure.
So it's like non-physical wrestling club.
Oh no, it would get very physical. This imaginary club would always end up in raucous fistfights.
I see. Well, on the note of raucous fistfights, that is going to be it for Shenanigans Riff Podcast Hour.
We can't plug anything?
We can. Oh no, that's what I'm saying. I'm moving into the plugs.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Jen, Nasir, is there anything you'd like to plug in Shenanigans? Any Instagram, social media dates you got coming up?
Well, the Bruin Fest show next Friday,
Yeah,
February
Bruin Fest next
22nd. Look for the Facebook event on that. That's on Shenanigans Comedy at UCLA on Facebook and everything.
Trader Joe's for your shredded cheese.
Shredded cheese at Trader Joe's. That sounds good to me.
They're closed.
Sundays
Wait,
are
what? In
sample
Westwood?
days
Did they
at
close
Costco.
down?
They close at 9.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Very nice. Any social? You want people to follow you? I got one follower in like 10 weeks of doing this podcast. I got one follower from the podcast.
Follow me at Jenny Gittess. Follow at UCLA Comedy. Is that what it is?
Yeah, at UCLA. I do that, but that's fine if you want to shout that out too.
Oh, I thought you were saying. Okay.
Yeah, follow me on everything at Nasir_NASCAR. Ooh.
That's so. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's
and
terrible.
Twitter. Follow us on Twitter.
Oh,
the
yes,
only people
please,
who like our
please
tweets
God.
are each other, so please
God,
help
follow
us.
us on Twitter.
Fair enough. Rafe?
I'm at Bursting Rafe on Twitter.
Sounds good. You can follow me on Instagram at NoahStern_. You can follow me on LinkedIn. I don't know the URL for that. You can follow me on Snapchat at BeGentle. You can follow me on Twitter at Noah But No Arc. You can follow Shenanigans.
Oh, I finally got a
At UCLA
Snapchat.
Comedy. You finally got a Snapchat.
I'm not going to plug it, though, but, in case any of you want to send me, like, a dog.
Okay.
A physical.
I'll send you a dog through
Yeah.
Snapchat.
Yeah,
Like, can
What
I
is
do
it?
the
What's
filter?
your Snapchat?
I forget.
Oh, okay. Well, tune in next week for the
Mysterious.
thrilling conclusion of what's Rafe's username.
Music's gotten all dramatic.
Uh-huh.
Really
It's
has.
about to go down. Thank you, everybody.
We hope you had fun. Let me
Last-
finish taking in my breath.